Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Kitni Koralage, and I'm honored to welcome you all to this webinar organized by the International Youth Alliance for Peace. For those who may not know, the International Youth Alliance for Peace is an organization working across South Asia for peace building, social cohesion, and youth empowerment. Today, we cross the regions from South Asia into Southeast Asia for the purpose of collaboration and learning from each other's experiences. Today is a special day as we celebrate the International Day of Education. This year's theme, AI and Education, Preserving Human Agency in a World of Automation, highlights the critical role of education in adapting to a rapidly changing world while emphasizing the importance of maintaining the human essence of creativity, empathy, and connection amidst the rise of artificial intelligence. Education is not just a collection of information, but a powerful means to build understanding, close gaps, and bring peace and harmony into the world. It is with this very sense in mind that today's session has been organized. In alignment with this year's theme, our webinar topic is Education for Peace Building, Bridging Divides and Fostering Social Harmony. While AI and automation provide new opportunities in education, the human-centered approaches we'll discuss today remind us that peace, understanding, and harmony remain at the core of all learning. Through this session, we aim to explore how education can serve as a tool to empower individuals and communities to bridge divides and create lasting peace across Asia. So before starting the first segment of the session, let me give you an overview of the program today. We will start the webinar with an introduction to the topic. Then we will move to an interactive discussion forum. After the discussion, we will open the floor to the Q&A session. You will get the chance to ask any question in that part from the speaker related to the topic. And please note that when we move to the Q&A session, the YouTube live streaming will be closed. Then, to conclude the session and keep the memory of our collaboration, we will take a group picture. With that in mind, let's move into our first segment. So before we begin, it is my honor to introduce today's speaker, Mr. Dody Widowo. Mr. Wibowo is a distinguished peace education specialist with over 20 years of experience. He is currently a lecturer and head of quality assurance for the Peace and Conflict Resolution Master's Program at Universitas Gadjah Mada, Indonesia. He also serves as the Director of Advocacy and Community Empowerment at Sukma Foundation, where he focuses on integrating peace education into communities. Mr. Wibowo holds a PhD from the University of Otago, New Zealand, specializing in factors that enhance teachers' peace education delivery. Over the years, he has collaborated with renowned organizations like Peace Brigades International, Save the Children, and UNICEF Indonesia, contributing significantly to global peace building efforts. We are fortunate to have Mr. Wibowo with us today to share his insights on how education can serve as a bridge to unite divided communities and foster social harmony across Asia. So without further ado, I now hand over the session to Mr. Dody Wibowo. Mr. Wibowo, the floor is yours.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, Kidney, for the nice introduction. Okay, hello, good afternoon, everyone. Oh, and it is already evening in Indonesia. I'm really happy that I am invited to this. I think it's very important occasion. I mean, like celebrating the International Education Day, and especially that today, like we know what happened in the world. Many problems, many things happens, and not only we are not only talk about the war, but also about the climate crisis. Everything is seems like it seems like there is no hope in our world. But I think for us, it is important for us to keep our optimistic mood, optimistic force. You know that peace still can be attainable. Peace can still can be reached uh, by us if we can work together. And but especially like for the first thing that we need to do is how can we um, giving everyone uh, giving everyone then the capacity to do peace work, and that's where the peace education take place, because education is the I think Nelson Mandela once said about like education is the most powerful weapon in the world. So it is our responsibility to equip ourselves with education, with knowledge, with skills and values that we can use to contribute to make our world into a better one. So today I would like to share one of my work in Indonesia regarding peace education, and it is a work that happen in the community. So it is an informal peace education, because you know that some people think that education only happen in a formal setting, in the school, for example, in the school, in the university, but actually education can happen anywhere, including in our community, using our daily activities. And it also happen in peace education. We can teach or we can learn about peace using our daily activities. So this is the story that I want to share with you all, the participants. So that I hope that this case studies or the story from my experience give um, can give inspiration to all of you, so that you can think about peace education activities that you can do in your own context. So the title of this presentation is Strengthening Youth as Agent of Peace, Experiences of Supporting Youth Along the Banks of Chode River in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. So um, I would like to start with the broad understanding first about what is peace, because in some contexts, when we hear the word peace, some people will associate the word peace with the situation where there is no war, there is no physical violence, but in other contexts where they never experience war or violence, direct violence or physical violence, they may think about a different definition of peace. Maybe they think about, oh, I feel peace when I can eat, I can have a food to eat, I can go to the school, I can have access to education. So in the study of peace, there is this one definition that I want to share that I use in my uh, peace work in Indonesia, which is the it is called as positive peace. It is coined by a very famous peace scholar called Johann Galtung. And when he said about positive peace is not only about the absence of physical violence, but also as a state where social justice is achieved, where everyone, every individual, they can enjoy their basic rights. They can go to school, they can have a work job and everything. Oh, okay. So I can. Yeah, it in the okay. Is it okay now?
Yes, Mr.
Yeah,
Dody.
okay. Yeah. So yeah, this is the situation that we want to achieve where um social justice is experienced by everyone in our societies and even like in our world, right? So that's what we want to achieve. But to achieve that, it is not only the responsibility of some people. For example, this is the responsibility of the government themselves itself. But yes, of course, like the biggest responsible the the one that has the biggest responsibility to provide peace or to provide social justice is the government. But actually, us, the citizens, the people, we also have the responsibility to contribute to make our society become a peaceful society. So every member of society has a role to play in contributing to the realization of peace, including youth or even like children. So, but again, what as I mentioned before, that if we want to contribute to realizing to the realization of peace in our society, we need to learn about peace, and that's where peace education take place. So what is peace education? I start with what is education first, like the definition of education. Education is an effort to impart knowledge, develop skills, and also instill values within individuals, right? If you go to school, you learn about mathematics, you learn about social science, you learn about economic science, but then also you sometimes you also developing skill on how to count in mathematics, or how to uh, doing this experiment in the chemistry class. And also in the same times, you in the school or in the education, you also learn about values. Of course, we learn about good values like cooperation, about collaboration, about respecting others. So all these things happen in education. And what is the difference between education and peace education? Peace education is educational approach that teaches knowledge about peace, train skills for resolving conflicts through peaceful and non-violent means, and also instill values of peace. Right. So, knowledge about peace. What is knowledge about peace? You learn about the definition of peace, the definition about conflict, the definition of violence, maybe, and all these theoretical things. But also you can learn about skills to resolve conflict through peaceful and non-violent means. For example, you learn about how to do negotiation, how to do mediation, all these things, like different things. But uh, the the essence is how to solve conflict peacefully. And the last one, like instill values of peace, as I mentioned before, like we through this peace education, we try to instill uh, values such as respect, empathy, and then cooperation, collaboration, etc. So, and this kind of education can be implemented in different settings, but particularly there are two settings, which is formal and informal. The formal setting, as I mentioned before, is we can learn peace education in schools, maybe through subjects or activities in the school or in the university, but it can also actually be carried out informally through everyday activities, maybe through sports, through cooking, through any activities in our daily activities. But there is this what is but if we want to make our daily activities become a peace education activities, we should make it as intentionally by integrating peace values, peace knowledge, or peace skills into those activities. So those are the basic or theoretical framework for the work that I'm doing in Chode Riverbank. So now that I want to, so later on after I finish with this presentation, I will show you a video of 4-minute videos about the activities, about the activities that I did, me and my student did in the Chode River Bank. So to give you the context, Chode River Bank is a slum area in Yogyakarta, where my city where I live, where many of the residents there live in poverty. So there are numerous social issues such as scarcity of jobs, limited access to education for children, sanitation problems, inadequate health services, and also polluted environment. So this is area that even like other member of the community in my city, and they rarely visit this area because of this stereotype about this area become dangerous because of all of this poverty. And maybe I think maybe in your context you can have this similar situation. Because there in every city, I believe that there are some areas where poverty happens, and other members of the society will give some stereotype towards this area. So yeah, this community in the Chode River Bank, they are seen as yeah, people with poverty, which is and other people in the city see them differently. Yeah, especially with a negative stereotype, and it happens or it affects the life of people who lives in the Chode River Bank, including the youth as well. And the people in the Chode riverbank, they actually they want um, to delete or to erase this this negative stereotype, especially the adult in that society. But then the adult actually they realize that they have to work together as a community to face this problem so that they can make the image of their community become better, so that people in outside this slum area, this outside the Chode River Bank, will see them into using more positive uh, to more positive eyes or something like that. But the adults in that society, in the communities, think that the youth, they are not active. They are not. It seems that the youth in their community doesn't want to. They don't want to actively involve in the activity in the community. So the youth in that area often perceived by adults as being indifferent. So that's why, because I have connection, I have a person whom I know that live in that society in that community. Um, he reached out to me and asked whether can I um, a company or making a project or making an activity to help the youth in his community become more engaged and care about their community. And then so I said, okay, yes, I can do that. I can work with my students and see what we can do to help the community, especially by assisting the or accompany the youth to become more engaged and care about their community. So then we met with the youth, and we have some discussion informally with them, and we started with some some talks. We go together, we sit together in the riverbank, and just having an informal conversation. And we realized that actually the youth, they are care about their community, but the adults in the village often overlook or fail to provide them with opportunities. So um, as a result, then the youth become reluctant to participate in activities in their community. So yeah, they what happened, like they, if there is some activities in the community, the youth oftentimes they don't want to participate, and they just go out from the community doing something, doing different activities in different areas. And so but then actually, and then they actually said that they care about their community. They wanted to contribute to their community. But yeah, sometimes that the adults, they don't see them, or maybe because the adults see them as still young, still don't know anything, you know. But but then the youth, they said that we want to show them, to show the adults that we actually care about our communities, and but we want to do that with activities that we like. So we try, and then uh, my my students and I, we try to digging, like what do you what activities that you like, and maybe we can use to help you to show to the community about uh, that you care about your community. So this is what finally happened. Like uh, we found out that the youth, they are interested in filmmaking skills. Okay, so although my students and I, we don't actually, we don't have that skills of making film, but we know a little bit about filmmaking. So we we start to giving the youth some basic um, filmmaking skills, how to use mobile phones, and how to use like basic cameras, and how to use them so that they can uh, make a movie or a film using all those basic utility. And we train them about how to make a script, and then also how to edit all these videos, so that in the end they can have a full film. So, but beside we give them the skill on how to make a film, we also provide them with a discussion, with some discussions about uh, basic peace and conflict concepts, and then about all these theoretical things that about social justice, about uh, the actors in the social in social settings, all these things that we think it will be helpful for them when they finally make a film that will capture uh, their interest, to show to the adults about their commitment take care of their community. So it our accompaniment to the youth is lasted for 6 months, and the result was that they finally they so the during this 6 months, the youth, they learn about this all this filmmaking uh, skills, and then it come out with a film about um, experience of young people, of youth living in the Chode River. And then this film was showcased to the community during one of these events, like the celebration in the community. And all the members of the community watch that movie, that documentary film, and especially the adults, they actually quite surprised about the result of the film, and since then the adults starting to have a different ways of seeing the youth in their community. The adults started to ask the youth to join on the discussion in the village and in the community, and also the youth themselves, they started to show their confidence to voice out their interests, or what they think it is good for their community. So that's it happened since June to November or December last year, and we until now that we still communicate with them, we still accompany the youth as well, so that it is not only happen for 6 months, but we trying to, because we know that this accompaniment cannot be stopped just in 6 months. We still need to um, we still need to evaluate, and then also to see is there anything that we can develop from this result. So yeah, that's what happened in our one of my experience in working or conducting peace work in the community, especially with the youth in my city. So that I hope that it is can give some inspiration to you all. And if you have any question, I would really be happy to answer. To close this presentation, I will show you the video of and again and to give you the information that this video was made by the youth. So I'll show you the video. So this is our first visit to the community. Have a discussion with the youth. It is a training about how to make a clip for the video on the film. And this is when they take the videos on the film. Okay, that's all my presentation, and thank you so much for the opportunity. And now I'm returning to get me.
Thank you, Mr. Doddy, for that presentation. We got to learn about what is peace, what is positive peace, and what is education, and the importance of peace education. And we learned how we can improve the skills related to peace education. And we got to see this inspirational story of um, how you taught the youth of Chode Riverbank on about peace education, basically, because at the start you said that we can teach peace education uh, in informal settings also, and you taught these peace concepts while uh, teaching them about filmmaking, and it helps them to make an impression on the adults, and
Mhm.
it is uh, it is very much needed. Like, various perspectives are needed for our community to improve. So thank you so much for that presentation, Mr. Doddy. Now, we are moving on to the interactive discussion forum. So I'll be asking some of the questions. So the first question is, Mr. Doddy, education has the potential to address deep-rooted issues in societies. From your experience, how can education systems evolve to tackle historical grievances and encourage a culture of peace, especially in diverse communities?
Okay, okay, thank you, give me for that question. Yeah, educate again. As I mentioned before, that education is the most powerful weapon, right, in our society. Through education, the goal of education is transforming our mind, right? So that if you want to teach someone to become a good person or a bad person, if you want to make someone to become a good person or a bad person, you go through education. So it is really like, if you have the power to control the education system, you can make everything. And so that's why I think, regarding to your question about how the education system can dealing with all the grievance and also all the problems in society, it is actually, when we talk about system, we talk about the government, we talk about the power that the government has. So I can say that it is actually depend on the government. If the government wants that their citizens become a good citizen, about become a citizen who have critical thinking, who care about their country, the government, they can make their education system become a good education system. But you know that in politics and in countries where the government, they have their own agenda, they usually also have this, they know that education is this is a powerful weapon. That's why those in a context where the government, they don't want their citizen become critical, and they want their citizen become, you know, have no power, or they just want to shut down, or to make the citizen become quiet. They go through the education. They make the education system so that the school and the education institution, they don't make the students or the learners become become learners who has critical thinking, who has the ability to analyze, to have a good analytical skill, to care about the country. They just, sorry, they just want to make um uh education system resulting on citizens who obey what the government wants them to do, right? So it is again, it is to me, I think um it becomes depend on the government. But we always we also need to remember that there is this top-down approach, and we also have the bottom-up approach. We are in the grassroots, the community, the people, we still have the power as well. If we can work together, you know, if we know that our government, they don't care about us, or they have their own agenda, so it's better for us, the people who are in the grassroots or in the community, we need to work together. We need to collaborate and trying to make our own education system, you know. So we can have this grace of our community-based education, where we can shape the curriculum based on our needs, based on our interests, that can challenge the education system that is developed by the government. So yeah, I think yeah, that's the situation that we face nowadays. I think everywhere in my context in Indonesia, but also I think I believe it also happened in Sri Lanka as well, that um we have this similar government, and we need as a people who are in the grassroots level, in the community, we need to believe, we need to realize that we have the power, we can work together, and we can make our own education system, and we can teach those that curriculum that we develop by ourselves through our informal education system, or just as I did in Chode, that we can implement our education curriculum using uh, informal activities. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Doddy. As you said, both the government and the community has that responsibility in forming peace in diverse communities.
Mhm.
Thank you, Mr. Doddy. Um, Moving on to the next question. Religious and cultural education often play a significant role in shaping societies. In your view, how can they contribute to fostering mutual understanding and social harmony in multi faith contexts?
Yeah, I think again our context. I think we have the same context in Indonesia. We also have multi-faith society, and yes, I believe that we have um, religion has uh, peace values that they want to teach to the followers. And I think again, because I um in our society, we need to talk about power. We need to be able to identify who are people who has power. And especially when we talk about um a religious or cultural group, every religious and cultural group, they have their leaders, right? So we need to approach them. We need to, because of course, that religious and cultural leaders, they don't have power to make regulation, because that's the government job. But they have power to influence people, right? Because the people, the follower, they will listen to the leader, to the religious leaders, and to the cultural leaders. So we need to approach them, those people who are in power, in religious group and also in cultural group. We need to make sure that they spread the peace values, or they promote peace through their religious activities or cultural activities, make sure that they are the people who are in power, who are the leaders. They always show to their followers that they are leaders who hold tight the values of peace, and where they also work together with different cultural and religious leaders. Because I believe when all these leaders they work together, they become example for the followers. Like they will follow. Oh, our leaders they work together. They hugging together each other. They love each other. So we as followers we will follow them. We will also uh, um, um, become friendly with different uh, religious and cultural group followers as well. So yeah, again, this is the people in who are the leaders become have the significant roles. Yeah.
Yes, as you said, the religion is a very important factor in building peace because religious leaders, if they work together, as you said, the followers will follow them and it will enhance peace in a society. Um, Moving on to the next question. When we talk about empowering the next generation as ambassadors of peace, youth focused initiatives become crucial. What are some ways we can effectively scale these programs to have a broader impact?
Mhm, mhm. Yeah. Um, we need to work first. We need to work with the parents, with the school teachers, not with the students or not with the youth, but all the adults. Because again, we talk about power. Those adults, those are who has the power in the family, in the school, you know. If we can work with them, and if we can, for example, with my work in the in Chode, the first thing that I did with my students is talking with the elders, talking with the adults in the community, making sure that they know that their children, that the youth in their community, they can contribute with to the betterment of the society, making sure that the adults they will give opportunity, they will give chance to the youth to voice their 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 interest or their concern. Once they once the adults they understand the importance of um, capacitating the youth, we will understand that we will I can ensure that all activities that we are doing with the youth will be supported by the adult, by the parents, by the teachers, everyone. And all the activities that we are doing with the youth will be successful. But if we only work with the youth with all these good activities, but the adults, the parents, the teachers, the community leaders, they still think that young people can contribute nothing, our activities will always be uh, 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 get challenged from them. So we need support from them at the first place, and then we work with the youth, because it is very important for us to capacitating the youth, because we talk about future generation. They are that the youth today. For example, all this, I believe that participants here now, they are the youth. You will be the next future leaders, right? So and you need all these this opportunity, the chance. But when the adults they don't give you or they don't open the door for you, it will be difficult for us. Yeah.
Yes, indeed, sir. So even in Sri Lankan community, I think the adults have this notion that
Mhm.
you or the children, they do not have the experience that is
Yeah.
necessary to make a change, but we need to change their perspective,
Yeah.
parents, adults' perspective first for
Yeah.
us to make the change. So thank you so much, sir, for that answer. And moving on to the final question. Um, Technology and digital platforms are transforming education globally. From your perspective, what challenges and opportunities have you observed in using these tools
Mhm.
to bridge social divides, particularly in Southeast Asia? And how might these lessons apply to South Asia?
Mhm. Yeah, I think and the most challenge in with all this technology things that is about filtering information, right? Filtering which information is the truth and the fakes ones, you know. And here the role of education become very important because through peace education we also will teach the learners about how to differentiate or how to to notice which one the truth and which one the fake news. And I think when once the people who use technology and especially with social media, I think they can differentiate which one the truth. They can become wiser. They know how they will not trying to spread out all the fake news. But when you don't have the education, when you don't have the skill to differentiate this news, you will be just like these people who just share everything they see without thinking about what is the effect of sharing anything. Yeah.
Yes, I think as important as the peace education, there's an important role that media literacy and information literacy can play. So thank you so much, sir, for answering the questions, and I think it further improved our knowledge on today's topic. Now we have come to the end of the live session. Before the end of this live broadcast, let me express our deep gratitude to Mr. Wibowo for his invaluable contribution. Mr. Wibowo, your experience, your knowledge, and your devotion to peace education really inspired us. You have not only shared with us some very practical strategies, but also reminded us how much potential education has in integrating people for a harmonious future. We would also like to extend very special thanks to all our participants who were able to join us live in the stream today. All participants who have attended at least 80% of the webinar and filled out the feedback form will be given a certificate of participation, and the attendance is tracked via the Zoom tracker. In case you counter any issues, feel free to contact us directly. And thank you all once again for joining the session. We really hope you have found it meaningful and